Traci Tattersall here with another episode of At the Table with AgRisk Advisors, where we discuss timely and relevant issues challenging the ranchers and farmers we serve every day. You'll be hearing from industry experts and our advisors as we examine risk management programs to protect your legacy.
Hello, friends, and welcome to a new podcast hosted by AgRisk Advisors. Again, risk management solutions for farmers and ranchers. My name is Lane Nordland, and I am a farm broadcaster based in north central Montana, but our radio and TV programs can be heard by farmers and ranchers across the western United States. And over the years, I've had a great opportunity to get to know the folks at AgRisk Advisors, especially Aaron and Traci Tattersall, the owners of AgRisk Advisors, and they're joining us here today to discuss a little bit about the history and founding of AgRisk Advisors and all the tools that they provide producers out in the countryside, but also just the relationship and the experience they have in truly being one of the best options for producers each and every day. But first off, Aaron and Traci, it's a little cold up in Montana. It's about 21 degrees below zero. The sun is shining, but it's cold. How are things down in Colorado today?
Warmer than that.
We don't have to break any ice here in Denver.
I have been keeping an eye on my water tanks, that's for sure, because no one wants a frozen water tank when the heater goes out, especially in this weather. But again, I'm excited to help share the message of AgRisk Advisors here today. Aaron, I'll start with you. Well, share a little bit about your background. I know you grew up in production agriculture, but how did you find yourself in the business that is AgRisk Advisors?
You bet. Yeah, I grew up on a small ranch in northeast Oregon. My folks still have a small place out there, and I went to college, graduated in business, and started right away in financial planning and investments. And so in 2004 and 5, I found myself in northeast Indiana working for an investment firm, and that's also the headquarters of Silvius Insurance Group. They're the largest independent family-owned crop insurance agency in the nation. And I was at a point where I really wanted to change to kind of get back into ag in some way. And so this seemed like a great opportunity. And so I, acquired the necessary licenses and got the education and struck out to eastern Colorado in 2006. And so Scott Silvius jokes that if you've ever seen the movie Dances with Wolves, where they sent Kevin Costner out to the edge of the West when, he would send letters back. That's kind of, I was the farthest agent they had out west and really didn't know anybody, but got to really had a great opportunity to meet ranchers and farmers and educate them on new programs. Traci and I were married in 2011, and since then, things really took off.
So did folks look at you a little different when you were out there dancing around a campfire with a wolf? Was that a part of that analogy too? Or is that your pitch when you go out and meet producers?
No, that was just our little inside joke. But people were surprised of me showing up on the ranch gates because no one had really pursued livestock operations for risk management programs. They were brand new and back then when I was starting out. So that was a good thing.
And Traci, for yourself, what was it like? Did you grow up in agriculture, or did Aaron introduce you to agriculture?
Yeah, I was a city person, I think, when we met, and I didn't really understand crop insurance, like probably a lot of people do who don't grow up in ag. So I found out it was very, very complex. And when we married in 2011, I have a business background myself, and we started working together. And I feel like my contribution is really just to build some operations and some infrastructure and, bringing on the right people so that we can really keep growing and serve our customers and just have all the tools and resources we need to grow. Aaron's great on the program and educating and the agent side of our business. And I'm trying to kind of round out our services to really just make sure we've got all the people and all the tools we need to serve our customers. So yeah, it's been quite a ride. I don't know if all married couples can work together, but we have fun doing it, and we both are good at different things, so it works for us.
Now, Aaron, one thing about it is, especially as you mentioned, showing up at a producer's operation, especially with livestock protection programs, because so many livestock producers have been unaware or were unaware of the risk management tools that are available to them. Farmers I know have utilized crop insurance for many years, but truly these livestock protection programs, they're very new in terms of producers being able to enroll in them and utilize them to the best of their abilities. How important was it to have that ranching and farming background yourself and being able to go to the farm gate and say, hey, I'm here to help you out. I'm not going to try to oversell you on this. I just want to tell you about how important these programs can be to your bottom line.
You bet. Yeah. Well, one thing I love about my job is all the different diverse operations we're able to have relationships with, based on a producer's or rancher farmer's environmental package. They do things completely different across the West, as you know. And so for me, coming out to Eastern Colorado from my background in Northeast Oregon, things were different. And so I just got to learn really about these operations that I approached, and it was education for me, and likewise on their end too. I think we're able to give them good information, and so that's really a cornerstone of AgRisk Advisors. It's in my finance and investment days, we were advisors. We're saying here's your risk tolerance. Here's a program that might work for you, and so I'm trying to apply that. I've always tried to apply that to this crop insurance business, and so it's been a lot of fun. And again, our difference really is one of our cornerstones is education, and so that's and that's awesome thing about ranchers and farmers is that they want to learn. These are things that can really help them out, and even if it's not a good fit for them, at least now they know why.
And when we look at the AgRisk Advisors name, it truly is a trusted relationship that producers have. I think of our friend Steve Wooten, a rancher there in Colorado, and he's so innovative in what he does. What was that like, meeting a producer like Steve Wooten, who truly is a staple in the Colorado agriculture community? What was that like, showing him, his wife Joy, and their entire family options that they can utilize to truly protect their bottom line out in the countryside?
Yeah, the relationship with Steve in particular goes back a long time, and I think there were 3 or 4 years where we just were passing information back and forth. He was wanting to know about these programs, and happy to fill that in. And so it took several years before they decided that was a good program for them, and since then been very happy and stuff. And that's it's just exciting to see the different type of operations that we can approach, and how they operate based on what they've got to work with. So that's what I love.
Well, and that's one thing too, is when I'm on the road and I run into so many of your agents and your staff. One thing about it, they truly have a trusted relationship with your clients and with potential clients as well. How important is it though for your team to not just follow up with these producers when it's renewal time, but truly just have that interaction year round, as you said, having educational tools for them to utilize every single day. Your website's outstanding with the information that you provide them, but how important is that face-to-face, or just that touching base over a phone call or a text, and building that relationship more than just once a year?
Yeah, it's critical. I think it's very rare. You're not going to find any other crop insurance businesses in downtown Denver, the tech center. So our model is different, where myself and our agents, we go out to the operations, kitchen, field, back of the pickup, whatever, to kind of go over options for them. We definitely want to value their time as we're leading up to a decision deadline, and so we want to make sure that everyone has plenty of information before they decide. And so that takes a lot of work. We try to keep it very simple for the producer. They've got many other things to work on and things to chase after. But when we show up, we want to make sure we're providing them the best background information, and so they can decide quickly. And like you're saying, throughout the year, there's lots of different touch points that we've set up processes. We're not just saying we're going to reach out to you when in the off season. We have definite things inside of our office where there's expectations and processes where our producers are getting the information they need throughout the year and when they want it in an easy format.
Now, maybe backing up a little bit to the actual founding of AgRisk Advisors, can you maybe share how AgRisk Advisors got started? How you said, you know what, we're going to do this as a family company. Have some people all across the West join us. Have agents everywhere continue our belief in helping producers have educational tools day in and day out. How did the name AgRisk Advisors come about, and walk us through just kind of going out on your own and creating this risk management agency for producers?
Well, I have my version, but I'd like to hear Traci's.
Oh, boy. Well, I would start by saying we didn't start it with the intention of being where we are now. We really didn't know how that was going to turn out. Aaron's great at what he does, and he happened to, be in Colorado kind of starting his business out here. And that was really what started it. And of course, in our line of work, if you treat someone right and you do what you say you're going to do, which is key, and act with integrity and do your business with integrity, that goes a long way. And so we do that in our personal lives and we do that in business. And, people don't take that for granted. And we really do want to be a company and people that, can be trusted. And so we have to kind of use those principles in our business. But I think a lot of it just stemmed from Aaron's approach to education and making sure customers really understand these programs. They can be complex. And his approach was, just making sure everyone, even if it's, kind of hand holding for a year before the policies even takes place, making sure they've got good information so that they know exactly, they've got a baseline, they've got good information, they know what their policy would have done had they actually put a premium down, so they can really go into it with a huge level of comfort. But, customers really start coming to us when you start treating them right, and so do other agents. I mean, when you have a model that agents can plug into, or we really serve our agents and give them tools and resources that are not common in the industry to build a book of business. They appreciate that, and our customers appreciate what we've done for them. So it kind of just grows a little bit, in that way.
Yeah.
What would you say?
I think that's exactly it. I think it's all about setting the right expectations and over delivering. That's keep it as simple as that. That's what we tell our agents and our service staff, and we're just going to knock it out of the park for the people that we serve all the time. That's what they deserve, and that's what we're going to do.
Well, and that leads us into this podcast. Obviously, this is a quick introduction to AgRisk Advisors, to you both, but also it's a way to also engage your 10 agents that represent producers in all states west of the Mississippi. That's impressive, but this is one of those educational tools that you have in your tool belt to help producers out. I guess, what was it like saying, you know what, let's create another opportunity to help engage our current clients and potential clients in creating this stream?
Yeah, I think it all boils down to the amount of information being thrown at everybody these days with internet and things like that. And so, having some sort of newsletter has always been in the back of my mind. But the goal of this podcast is simply another educational tool. It's another foundational piece of AgRisk Advisors and the education avenue and platform. And we want to provide timely, relevant information to producers for their production risk management needs, and be able to help them filter out all the noise that they're seeing. And again, just keep it simple for them, and we're going to provide great advice. We always do, and the goal is to have experts, during these podcasts to talk about these different subjects that are relevant to our ranchers and farmers. So.
And what's the frequency going to be when folks are out feeding cows or out putting hay up? What's the frequency going to be? Is it going to be weekly, monthly? What is the content projection going to look like on the timeline?
You bet. Well, it just depends on how much organization we can get ourselves around and push information out there. I think I would love to have something monthly, but what I'm excited about is, or even biweekly, is that this can be consumed, as you're saying, on the producer's time, and whenever they need to or have some time, they can access this tool and learn about different things that are important to their operations. So the goal is to have plenty of content, to have a library, and just keep it relevant. So.
And as we look ahead, what are some of those topics that are going to be in the next few episodes? Just to give a quick preview on that, or maybe it's secret. Maybe you don't want to unveil those till right before.
No, we're happy to. Yeah, we're going to talk about some Farm Bill, the Farm Bill program, and decisions that are coming up for this spring for farmers. Talk about new risk management programs, in particular. Not a lot of people have heard of whole farm revenue protection and how that might apply to a hay operation or even a livestock operation. We'll definitely have weather. We've got a lot of weather assets and resources on our current website, but we'll be interviewing our bench of weathermen occasionally. And there's a lot of new programs coming out in the next 24 months, and so we're not only going to be able to provide summary information and give highlights during these podcasts, but it takes a lot to build up to that point. So as soon as these new programs come out, we're diving through the material, learning how they work, and trying to find ways to simply present them to producers so they can understand them. So it's exciting. There's, like I said, there's a lot of new things coming out, and so we want to be at the forefront of those opportunities for risk management. Again, even if it's not something that the rancher or farmer implements, at least they know why. So.
Well, and that just comes back with these new programs coming out. And as we mentioned at the beginning of our conversation, it can be a little bit overwhelming in terms of what the program entails, but also producers are cautious, especially we know that in the livestock industry. I guess what's a message you have for a producer to at least just look at these programs, sit down and talk with you face to face, over the phone, or at a trade show of the many agriculture events that the AgRisk Advisors team attends every year? Why is it important just to take a moment to consider and learn more about the existing programs, especially on the livestock end, but these new ones that truly can help producers be profitable, but mainly stay in business and get through some hard times when those hard times do pop up?
I like the analogy of, you're going out to fix fence and you put all this stuff in the back of your pickup, and you better put an extra tire or maybe a handyman jack and things like that. You might not need it, but at least you have it. So when you get out to work on that fence or whatever, and something happens, you don't lose the rest of the next 2 days. All that lost time fixing a tire or not having the exact tool you need. So if our ranchers and farmers and customers can spend some time learning about these things, at least the name and the concept, at least, they're not learning about it the time they need to use it. Markets are very volatile. Everyone knows that weather's volatile. And so, we're going to have a lot of information, a lot of ways that people can easily consume how these programs works and if they're good or not for them. And we work for free. So, it's very easy. We can easily provide illustrations and provide as much time as the producer needs to make a decision. So.
And Traci, for our listeners and viewers of the initial podcast kickoff here, where can they go to learn more about AgRisk Advisors, social media pages, and just to get engaged more on the opportunities that AgRisk is providing them?
Yeah, absolutely. We really try to inundate a lot of different platforms just so people can find us where they are. But we have great tools on our website. We have a video library called AgRisk University that even goes through some of the programs in little snippets so they can watch it as they want, really understand the programs a little bit better. But that's agriskadvisors.com. We've got several other pages once we get into our PRF season, pasture rangeland forward, prfadvisors.com. That'll go into a lot more detail on that specific program. lrpadvisors.com, which is highlights a program, livestock risk protection, which is price risk for livestock. So several different ways to find out really great information. We do have a YouTube channel, AgRisk Advisors. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram. So people can find us, any way they would choose. Our office line is 303-539-9300. And we certainly would love to hear from any of your listeners and just answer any questions they might have.
Well, again, so much information can be found at agriskadvisors.com. And Aaron and Traci, we look forward to more of these episodes and informational talks that producers can truly just learn more about all the risk management tools, but also just the relationship building that the AgRisk Advisors team conducts day in and day out, whether that's across the West at a trade show, wherever that might be. Again, so much information can be found on this platform, but also the website and all the social media pages. Aaron and Traci, I'll give you the floor. Anything else that you would just like to share with the audience here today?
Well, it's just an honor to work with the people that we're able to work with. I know myself, Traci, all of our agents and staff feel privileged every day. It's something that we pray about every Monday in our Monday morning meetings. We want to set our hand to serve our customers. So. And make friends too. That's another great part of this. So we're trying to do the best with to steward this business, and we just appreciate the opportunity. So,
Traci, any last thoughts?
No, just echoing what Aaron said. We do feel it's quite an honor to serve the people we serve who are growing the food for our country and outside of our borders, and we feel privileged to be able to serve them. We're humbled to have a great team of people who choose to be with us every day and to work under the banner of AgRisk Advisors. And like Aaron said, we want to steward it. It's God's business. It's not ours. And we are doing the best with the tools he's given us, but we want to honor God in our business and serve our customers in the very best way we can.
Well, again, we look forward to hearing more of these conversations on the podcast stream as well. So make sure and subscribe and follow along and learn more about what AgRisk Advisors is doing to help producers out in the countryside. Again, they're with you no matter the weather. Again, thank you so much to Aaron and Traci Tattersall for including me here in the inaugural maiden voyage of the podcast. Again, for more information, make sure and visit agriskadvisors.com. I'm Lane Northland. I'll catch you next time.